You are.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting for Wednesday, April 26th, 2023 to order. We'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence to remember those that have passed before us. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, as we begin, I'll just start out by saying we have two opportunities for public comment this evening. The first opportunity for public comment is for agenda items only. There is a sign-up sheet in the back, and that's when we'll take comment for the items on the agenda. And then we have a second opportunity for public comment at the end of the meeting, which is open commentary. I will just ask each of you, if you come up, to state whether you're a resident or not. So please sign up in the back. So I'm honored to do some special presentations tonight. We have a few of them, and the first one, I'll come down to the floor, is to recognize our EMS providers for National EMS Week, which happens to be in May, but it will be, it starts before our next meeting, so we wanted to recognize them. And I'll ask Chief Jason Dowd from Tri-Hampton Rescue Squad and his team to come up and meet me on the floor. So each year, I'm very proud to present to the Rescue Squad a proclamation regarding EMS Week, and I always try to let everybody in the community know, and I don't think everybody realizes that we have a best-in-class emergency medical service, led by Chief Jason Dowd and his fine team of providers. As you know, I'm in the fire department. I'm the fire chief. I'm out with these folks every day, and I see the absolute top quality emergency medical services that they provide to our residents and anybody that comes to Northampton. So it is my honor to do this each year. And I won't read the whole proclamation, but I believe that the theme this year is, help me get it right, it's EMS service where emergency medical services begin. Emergent medical care begin. I tried to remember that. But, you know, that's it. I mean, when you have a medical emergency, these will be the first folks you probably see. And if you see them, you're in great hands. The emergency medical services consist of first responders, EMTs, paramedics, dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and many others. But the important ones, they're all important, are the ones you see first. And that's the people with me here today. So I will just read the proclamation. Now, therefore, I, Adam Selisker, Township Supervisor and 2023 Board Chairman, call upon all the citizens of Northampton Township and all the patriotic civil and educational organizations to observe this week in recognition of EMS Week, which is May 21st to 27th, as Emergency Medical Services Week, with the theme, as we talked about before. I encourage the community to observe this week and appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. So I know we'll hear more about that as we get closer. I encourage everybody to follow Tri-Hampton Rescue Squad's Facebook page. There's always a lot of great information, but I'd certainly ask if you have a few words for the community. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, Adam. Thank you to the Board of Supervisors and to the community here in Northampton Township. I want to first and foremost recognize our Medic 115 crew has joined me here tonight as well. They're stationed right here in Richboro, right down the street. And two of our top-notch providers that I wanted to recognize, but we have a whole team full of very capable and excellent providers that are enabled by the residents, the good community support that we have here throughout our local and through the municipal support here through Northampton Township. So we wanted to recognize our team and thank you for this recognition, and we much appreciate it. Thank you.
Very nice.
Well, there's lots of recognition weeks in May, and I have a couple others just to make sure I call out. The first one is May 14th to May 20th, which is Police Week. And as you all know, we talk about best-in-class rescue squad. Well, we have a best-in-class police department as well. We have an extraordinary team of men and women who protect us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They do great community work. They're really one of the central organizations in our community, and we thank them. We should thank them every day. If you see them, please reach out and thank them. And I'll just quickly read their proclamation. I further call upon the citizens of Northampton Township to observe May 15th, 2023 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of these peace officers who, through their courageous deeds, have lost their lives or have become disabled in the performance of their duty. So thank you to our police department. And lastly, May 21st to 27th, in addition to EMS Week, is Public Works Week. And again, another just top-notch agency within our community. The Public Works Department takes care of our infrastructure. They take care of our roads mostly. That's what everybody knows them for. But they take care of all the township facilities, all the properties that you drive by every day that you don't even realize exist. They may be thousands of feet off the road. It's our parks. It's our recreation facilities, just all those things. And I think the one thing that I have to always mention is that we have the best plowed roads when it snows. Now, we didn't have that situation this season. I guess there's still time, but it doesn't seem likely, although it's cold this week. But we do want to thank our Public Works. These are a group of dedicated Northampton Township employees who, again, work 24/7 when needed around the clock to make sure that Northampton is an accessible and clean working place. So thank you to them. And real quick, I'll just read. Now, therefore, I, Adam Salsker, Township Supervisor, do hereby designate the week of May 21st to 27th as National Public Works Week with the theme Connecting the World Through Public Works. We urge all our people to join with the representatives of the Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies to pay tribute to our public works professionals. So if you happen to drive by them, give them a wave, give them a thumbs up, give them a thank you. If you see them getting a cup of coffee, go up, pat them on the back, and say thanks for what you do. They do appreciate it, and they take enormous pride in keeping this township looking and functioning the way it does. So thank you to all of them. With that, is there any public comment this evening? No? Thank you, Lisa. We'll move to approval of the minutes. These are the consent items. We'll start with Paula.
Mr. Chairman, if there are no objections, I request that the minutes of March 22, 2023 be approved by unanimous consent.
Any corrections? Any comment? Okay, thank you. Accounts payable, Kim?
Yes, I have the bills list for April 12th, 2023. Total all funds, $4,538,435.83. And I have the bills list for April 26, 2023. Total all funds, $2,943,165.09.
Thank you. We have no other items for consent. I'll accept a motion to accept the consent items as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. One thing I failed to mention at the beginning, Supervisor Salzer sends his apologies. He couldn't be with us tonight, but I believe he'll return next month. Moving on to new business. First is to consider a resolution to apply for a Department of Conservation and Natural Resources grant to improve the 39 acres property on Hatboro Road. Kim?
Yes. Working with the Parks and Recreation Board and YSM Landscape Architects, a master plan was developed for the 39-acre parcel located on the corner of Bristol and Hatboro Roads. Like Municipal Park across the street, this land was acquired from the National Park Service Federal Lands Reuse Program. As a component of an overall plan for the improvements to the township's park system, this 39-acre master plan is consistent with the 2014 Comprehensive Park and Rec Plan and the Federal Lands Reuse Program. The Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnership Program is a grant program which funds park development and rehabilitation projects. To request this funding, the administration has prepared a grant application for Phase 1 development of the 39-acre park that includes 5 dedicated pickleball courts, football fields, a multi-purpose sports field, and associated infrastructure such as driveway entrance, parking, stormwater management, and utilities. The grant is a 50-50 matching grant with a maximum grant amount of $250,000. Since the estimated budget for Phase 1 is $1,926,000, if awarded, the township contribution exceeds the required match. Now, so that we can get that grant submission, we have to do a resolution, and it needs to be adopted by the Board of Supervisors. With that, I'd like to make a motion.
Please.
I move that we adopt Resolution R-23-6 to authorize the Township Administration to submit an application to the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for a grant to help fund Phase 1 of park improvements for the 39-acre parcel located on Hatboro Road.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I'll open up for discussion. Anything further, Kim?
Yes, I just wanted to make it clear that anything that we're showing for this, for this plan, nothing is in stone. And we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we have to have a basic premise to apply for a grant. So we put together something, and like I said, it is a work in progress. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear to everybody.
Thanks, Kim. Barry, any other comment?
No, I think it's a great concept. I know it's the first step to it, but it's something that we've talked about in the past, and I think it's a good start. And I like the concept of getting money from the state to help out with the township, so it's all good.
Thanks. Paula?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this, and I've been already spreading the word to people I know, and they are excited also about the new adult type things.
I just wanted to also say, when we apply for grants, these grants are going to go to somebody in the state of Pennsylvania. And as far as I'm concerned, I would like as much money as possible to come back to Northampton Township, and that's our goal.
I agree. Better here than York.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this township has been extraordinarily successful in applying for grants and getting grants. And the reason for that is, we have a phenomenal staff who really understand the system, and they know what we need to do to present properly to the folks that evaluate the grants. And I think we come to the top a lot because of what we submit. And so I think that this is no exception here.
Thank you, Bob.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we consider a resolution to amend the Sterling Act. Kim?
Yes. The Sterling Act was adopted by the Pennsylvania legislature in 1932 and requires that all non-residents working in the city of Philadelphia pay an earned income tax to the city for the privilege of working there. The current tax rate is 3.448% of earned income. The act was intended to be in place for a one-year period and was designed to help the city with the cost of municipal services during the Great Depression. Now, the Sterling Act may have made sense in 1932 when the surrounding counties consisted mainly of farmland with few municipal services. However, much has changed in the suburbs since the 1930s. Growth in the surrounding counties was followed by an expansion of local municipal services, including police, fire and emergency medical services, parks and rec services, public works, public utilities, libraries, and associated administrative support services. Despite this growth and need for revenue to support the expansion of local municipal services, the Sterling Act continues to allow Philadelphia to tax non-residents without the requirement to remit any earned income tax it collects to a non-resident's home municipality, even though that community enacted its own earned income tax, which is limited by state law to 1% of earned income. The Sterling Act only applies to the city of Philadelphia and nowhere else in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It's an outdated law that creates an inequity in our tax structure by taxing township residents working in the city and placing a higher tax burden on those residents not working in the city. The act deprives our township of approximately $1.1 million that could be used to provide essential government services such as police, fire, and emergency medical services. Our resolution requests that the PA governor and state legislature to amend the Sterling Act and require the city of Philadelphia to remit an amount up to 1% of the non-resident earned income tax it collects from township residents working in the city to the township. With that, I'd like to make a motion.
Please.
I move to adopt Resolution R-23-7, urging the governor and legislature of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to amend the Sterling Act and require the city of Philadelphia to remit a portion of the earned income tax it collects from non-residents working in the city to the municipality in which the taxpayer resides.
Is there a second?
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Kim?
I think that we are looking for ways to supply our, we've been seeing that with our firefighters. We've had to, go to career firefighters. Our police need to be fully funded, and our EMS, which is so important. And we're struggling to make ends meet, to make sure that we are keeping on top of it. And it doesn't seem it's a very fair law. I could see how it was in the Depression, but things have changed a lot now. So.
Thank you, Kim. Paula?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. I think it's about time, and I hope it goes through this time, because I know we've put in numerous times to get rid of this act.
Thanks, Paula. Barry?
No, I agree with it, too. I know now the way the act is, it actually impacts the school taxes, too. And so it's going to be, it's more significant this time. It's really unfair because you have a lot of residents who, may have a position for a Philadelphia-based company, but are working out of home. And they're still paying the full 3.44% to the city of Philadelphia, and nothing's coming back to Northampton Township. So I fully support this act.
Yeah, the trouble with it is that it puts increased burden on those that are paying their earned income tax to Northampton.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for those that are paying the tax in the city. Their dollars are not coming to their home community where they live and spend, a lot of their time. Just as another point, Our State Senator Frank Farry is on top of this. Both our representatives, we've been working with both of them, both Kristen Marcel and Joe Hogan. They're on top of this as well. They recognize what it means to Northampton and all of the communities that surround the city. It seems like at least we're starting to get some ears on this, but I always urge the residents to, reach out and have your voice heard too. You want your hard-earned tax dollars to be spent and used in your community to improve your services. So if you have a few minutes, make sure you reach out and at least let them know that you support their efforts. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have a couple of dedications. First one is consider a resolution for dedication for estates at Creekside. Barry?
Sure, thanks, Ab. So these are very similar. The estates at Creekside is on Old Jacksonville Road. It's a development that was done by the Luca brothers. It's a nice community, and basically what we're trying to do here is once the development's completely done, all the roads are dedicated back to the township, and then township assumes responsibility for that. There is a bond that's posted that's good for 18 months that protects the township should something go wrong during that first 18 months, but after that, the township takes responsibility for that. It's really a benefit to our residents because, quite often we have some parts of town where the roads were not dedicated. You have people living on streets that, may have been, developed 30, 40 years ago, and, they're responsible for taking care of the streets, and it's a big burden for them. It's much better for the township to take responsibility for this. That makes sure that streets are paved, they're plowed and maintained. So I'd like to read a resolution, Adam, if I could.
Please.
I move that resolution number R-23-8, accepting the deed of dedication for the Gilmore Tract subdivision, also known as the estate of Creekside, by DeLuca Homes, be approved subject to the posting of maintenance bond and title insurance for the terms of the development agreement, in addition to the submission of executed deeds of dedication by the developer, and all that are subject to the satisfaction of township solicitor. In addition, developers shall complete all items contained in the April 18th, 2023 correspondence from Gilmore Associates during the maintenance period.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further comment?
No, I think it's just a very important thing we do, and as I mentioned, there is a bond posted for 18 months, so if something should happen, the township can go against that bond. And then Gilmore Associates went out to the site, and they made sure everything was done to the standards of the township, so I think it's a good order.
Thanks, Mary. Any other discussion, Kim?
I think it's very important for the residents who live there that we take dedication.
Yep. Paula?
Oh, great, ditto, I agree with that, too.
Great. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll stick with that, Barry, and dedication of St. Leonard's subdivision by Toner Homes.
Sure, thanks. So Toner Homes has a development on St. Leonard's subdivision. Quinn Circle is the location, there's a number of houses there. And very similar resolution where the township has inspected the site, making sure all the roads meet the standards, and there'll be a bond posted by the developer for 18 months to make sure that if there's any problems that the developer will have to pay that. So if I could read the resolution.
Please.
I move that resolution number R-23-9, accepting the deed of dedication for the 444 St. Leonard subdivision by Toner Homes be approved subject to the posting of a maintenance bond and title insurance for the term of the development agreement, in addition to an executed deed of dedication by the developer. They're all subject to the satisfaction of the township solicitor.
Second?
I'll second it.
Any other comment, Barry?
That's it.
Paul?
No, I'm
All
good.
those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay.
Next, we have a resolution for microsurfacing certain township roads. Paula?
Okay, the township has an opportunity to piggyback on a contract awarded by Whitpain Township in Montgomery County for microsurfacing as part of our annual road maintenance program. Unlike road paving, a microsurfacing application is intended to extend the life of roads that are not ready for resurfacing, but have shown enough signs of wear that resurfacing is imminent in the next 5 to 10 years. Whitpain Township publicly advertised and awarded contracts for its 2021 road resurfacing program with the intent of opening the process to other municipalities that are members of the Delaware Valley Consortiums or Montgomery County Public Works Association. Northampton Township belongs to both those organizations. This contract between Whitpain Township and Asphalt Paving System was extended through 2023. A copy of the extension letter is attached. To piggyback on this contract, White Plain Township requires a resolution from the governing body of any municipality wishing to participate in this bid. The low bidder for microsurfacing is Asphalt Paving Systems in New Jersey, and they're asking $4.72 per square yard for a double application, with crack sealing for an additional 37 cents per square yard. Our program this year anticipates using a microsurfacing application on approximately 4 miles of the township road system. A list of other individual roads is listed. The total project cost is approximately $392,337. The administration recommends approval of the resolution authorizing participation in the piggyback program. We agree with this, and if I may, make a motion on this.
Please.
Okay, I move to adopt Resolution R 2310, authorizing participation in the Whitpain Township 2023 Road Resurfacing Program for microsurfacing on approximately 4 miles of the township road system, and authorizing the township manager to execute all required contracts with Asphalt Paving Systems for the microsurfacing project.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Any discussion?
Oh, no, it has to be done.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. One more with Paula. We need a resolution for a right-of-way for Verizon for Newtown Richborough Road for the firehouse.
Okay, great. As a part of the construction of the new fire station on Newtown Richborough Road, permanent power lines and communication fiber optics to the cell tower need to be relocated. To accomplish this, the township has been working with Verizon to move these utilities to a new location. The administration recommends the Board of Supervisors approve the resolution and authorize the manager to execute 4 times a week. They're usually booked weeks in advance, so you have to get on and call. The other service is a 5-session set of computer classes being held in our computer lab in the library, and it's taught by 2 staff members. Registration is required for the 12 seats, and all the 5 classes are booked solid, and there are waiting lists available. A few interesting statistics, just talk about the first quarter of this year, 2023. There's been a 45 increase in user groups reserving rooms, and that's a 31% increase in meetings that are held in our library. 38 more children's programs are resulting in 44% more attendance, and there's been a 19% increase in the use of all the desktop computers that are located in the library. And we got new ones, by the way, this year. 105 tests proctored year-to-date compared to 128 tests in all for 2022. People do take tests in there. The library has teamed with Parks and Recreation to host a few line dancing classes and 3 seminars dealing with healthy body posture between March and July. Lastly, the director, Wayne, represented the library at the 2023 Senior Expo held at Spring Mill Manor and hosted by our representative, Kristen Marcel, on Friday, March 31. He spoke to more than 85 attendees regarding the library and all its services. So it's growing and it's doing well. I also want to talk about the Veterans Administration Commission. Washington Crossing is hosting a dedication ceremony of George Washington, and it's going to be held at the National Cemetery in the Historic Park on Memorial Day, Sunday, May 28th at 1 o'clock. and it's near the Thompson Neely House if you need directions or locations to find it. It includes the Colonial Color Guard, the fife and drum music, and the artillery piece. Okay, after the dedication, American flags will be placed on the graves by the Guardians of Bucks County. The grave site marks the resting place of soldiers who died during the Continental Army's 1776 encampment in Bucks County. Okay, that's going on then. Okay, the VAC members, the Veteran Advisory Commission members, have been talking about ideas to honor the burial flags initially presented to the family of Army Master Sergeant Elwell, Kenneth Elwell. He was a lifelong resident of Holland, Pennsylvania, and he paid the ultimate sacrifice in Afghanistan on July 19, 2011. The VAC has agreed to place Master Sergeant Elwell's burial flags in a framed display case that will be included in the formal dedication of the Richboro Nike Ajax base, presented to Council Rock North. VAC members plan to invite Gold Star families to attend the dedication ceremony. Okay, VAC members agreed to draft a short summary seeking assistance from the public to assist in collecting contact information for veterans residing in the township. We talked about postcards and social media. We want to use the data to create a repository needed to disseminate pertinent information to the veterans in the local area. There isn't enough information given, and you really have to know another veteran for you to be informed of what's going on and what's available to you. Okay, Chairman Riley relayed that the Pennsylvania State Representative Kristen Marcel was interested in learning about veteran concerns, and that appear to be the busiest when applying for claims to the VA. And a memorial plaque was removed from the intersection of Bristol Road and Bustleton Pike and moved to the veteran site in front of the administration building right here. Ms. Russo asked the Veterans Administration on behalf of the administration, to create wording for an additional plaque to create symmetry that explains the BRIC program. And then last but not least, Memorial Day will be held, Memorial Day festivities will be held at the Dombrowski Park, which is the waterfall park, on Monday, May 29, and all are invited at 9 a.m. It's the festivities start. And it'll be the full bagpiper, singer, a color guard, firing squad, bugler, everything, soup to nuts. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I understand we lost a few minutes of our video feed, and that was mostly during Dr. Rose's report, so I'm going to ask her to do it again. She has a lot of good information to share, and we want to make sure it gets on the video for those that watch at a later time. Thank you, Kim.
I know, and I apologize to the people who are sitting in the audience right here that you're going to have to hear my report a second time. First, the Senior Center. First, I do want to report that last Friday, we had the Spring Fling, which was a great event. There was a ton of people there. Paula and I had a great time shopping and, talking to our residents, and all the residents really had a great time. And I do want to thank the Lions Club of Northampton. They provided walking tacos and all kinds of treats, and it was delicious. Thank you very much, Northampton Lions. There is so much to do at the Senior Center for 55 and older crowd. The schedule is packed with a wide range of fun and exciting classes and activities designed to keep everybody active and healthy. It's never too late to get involved in an old hobby or learn a new one. There's something for everyone. On Wednesday, May 3rd, a new art class is starting called Doodles and Drawings. This is a basic drawing class where you can learn how to transform your doodles into beautiful drawings. All that's needed is a drawing pad and a number 2 pencil. The center is all abuzz with excitement for the 2023 Bocce League to begin. Signing up for the league began on April 24th, and it extends until May 19th. Last year's league had 125 participants. This year's league promises to be even bigger and better. If you'd like more information about these programs and other activities, events, and bus trips that are offered, feel free to stop by the center located at 165 Township Road, directly across from the library. The center's hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 3:30, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 until 8 o'clock. You can also visit the center's website at northamptonsc.com or call the center at 215-357-8199. And now for Parks and Rec. Attention, high school seniors, college students, and teachers. A few positions are still open for camp counselors this summer. Make a difference this summer and apply today by visiting the Parks and Rec homepage at www.northamptonrec.com and clicking on the camp counselor picture. Don't miss this fantastic experience. Our community yard sale will be held on Saturday, May 20th. Register your Northampton home for $10 to participate. This is a great time to get rid of things that maybe you want to get rid of and make a couple dollars at the same time. If you're a shopper, mark the date on your calendar and download a map of participating homes. Finally, the Park and Rec Department is thrilled to announce a new partnership with the Northampton Senior Center to expand Parks and Rec adult programming Monday through Thursday evenings. Join the new popular evening line dancing class or experience a new exercise class. If you like art, register for the May 9th Painting with Pals and partner with your child or grandchild to make two sides of one memorable picture that will hang together. For information on more classes or to register, visit www.northamptonrec.com. And that is the last time I'll be saying it tonight.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Barry?
Is the camera working, or? So the Planning Commission met on March 11th and recommended approval of the development on the Bucks County Roses subdivision, which is a residential development for, it's R1, so it's going to be single-family houses on 1-acre lots. The Planning Commission reviewed it. They approved it. They're going to submit the proposal to the Board of Supervisors at the next meeting, so we'll see that in May. So that's happening. And then the only other thing I'll mention is that there is land development going on in downtown Richboro now between the McDonald's and the Trumark. A lot of people have asked questions about that. As you recall, that's where the new Dunkin' Donuts is going to go with the drive-through. And there's going to be another destination store, which has not been determined yet, to my knowledge. That'll be done there. So a lot of people are trying to ask what's happening to the existing Dunkin' Donuts, and no news on that yet, but I'm sure somebody will be filling that space shortly. So that's it.
Thanks, Barry. I have just one quick thing to report on emergency services. The fire department, police, and emergency medical services have been working with the Council Rock School District over the past few months, and we've been doing many safety and security drills at the schools. Many folks have driven by and seen all the emergency apparatus there and have asked a lot of questions. And we're just training and working together with the teachers, the staff, the school security, and the emergency services to just make sure that we do everything we can to keep our children safe. And that's going to continue. So you may see some activity around there in the future. And it's been really a great experience for everybody involved to practice and be ready. I don't have anything else. Bob, manager's report?
I have no report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill, assistant manager's report?
Yeah, I just wanted to let the video record reflect that item 9I for the antenna, the board vote was 4-0.
Thank you.
We're not sure about the when the video cut off, but just wanted to let the video reflect it now. It was 4-0. That's all I have to report.
Thanks, Bill. Joe, Solicitor's Report?
No report this evening.
Thank you, Joe. Amanda, Engineers Report?
I had no report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have anybody signed up for public comment? I guess, Joe, you saw you were the only one on the sheet, so you took your place. Just
Trying to keep the meeting moving here.
just state your name, and if you don't mind, just you are a resident, correct?
Correct. I am a
Thank you.
resident, Joe Johnston.
Thank you.
41 Grant Drive. Now, just flip pages here. Last month's meeting was on March 22nd, and following that, there was a meeting at the Churchville Nature Center for the Rails to Trail update. No mention was made of this at the township level. So, with those two facts, I have three questions. One, did a representative from Northampton Township attend the 3/23/23 trail update meeting at the Churchville Nature Center? Two, why was there no notification of the 3/23 trail update meeting on Northampton Township's website or at the 3/22 Board of Supervisors meeting? Excuse me, I did come in a few minutes late tonight, but I'll put this question in there too. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. Why was there no report tonight at this Board of Supervisors meeting as to what happened at that Churchville Nature Center trail update meeting? Which was, by the way, for the residents at home, that was run by the Bucks County Planning Commission, not the township. And the last question would be, what assurances will you give us tonight that the Northampton administration and the supervisors will report regularly on rail trail meetings and milestones? And I'll give you these questions.
Don't raise your hand, or? Sure.
And, Mr. Chairman, I'm giving these questions because I would like them entered into the minutes of the meeting.
Okay, and they are on the record, of course, as well. All right, thanks, Joe. Barry, you have a couple comments?
The only thing I would mention, and Joe, thanks for bringing it to people's attention, but there are a number of meetings that happen. The trail, as you know, is a county project. It was before this board before, and the Board of Supervisors did approve it based on feedback we got from the residents, and it was approved from a township perspective. But now the responsibility of implementing the Rails to Trails is a county project. So yes, there was a meeting in Churchville Nature Center on the project, and I'm sure there's going to be numerous other meetings going to be held from time to time, and residents are more than welcome to join that. But it's a county project that's organized, and that's why,
We have one other just quick point from Mr. Pellegrino.
I'm not aware of anyone from the township attending unless one of the supervisors attended that
No.
meeting.
I had a conflict that night. I couldn't.
Mr.
I wanted
Morse-
to, but I couldn't.
As Mr. Moore said, Joe, this is a county project. This board endorsed the concept of converting that rail line. It did not endorse and did not approve yet the plans, and we don't have to do that. The township does not have to do that because it's now a county project. The Bucks County Planning Commission has and will have meetings on this. They have a portal, as you know, on their website that has all kinds of information on it. And I thought we linked to that on our website, but we'll check on that. If we don't, we'll certainly link to that. But you're not going to see separate and independent information on our website that's different from the county's. We are not involved in this project construction. They will certainly advise us on important matters like the road crossings, and we will make sure through our engineers that those crossings are safe. I believe the design engineers will also do that, but we'll check on that. But I can't state enough, we're not involved in the project itself. So at this point, your question should be directed, if you have specific questions about the project, to the Bucks County Planning Commission, to Mr. Stone, the executive director, and/or to the county commissioners.
I think one thing we can do, though, is we can just check in with the Planning Commission, and if they want us to share any information, meeting dates, et cetera, if they get them to us, I don't think that's difficult for us to turn around and share. That is something that we can do via our normal media. But I really strongly suggest for those that are watching to go to that portal and sign up, because you'll get real-time information from the county themselves.
I did just do a quick Google search and found they have a presentation up on the county's Planning Commission's website from that meeting.
Yeah, I think if our website links to the county, we don't want to have different information that we might put up. So linking to their website is probably the best thing to do, so all the information is the same.
The only thing I would add, too, is that the meeting itself, Joe, was actually held at a county facility, the Churchville Nature Center, which is managed by the county. If there's a future event at a township facility, then we'll certainly, make sure people are aware of it. But from the county's perspective, they held an event at their facility, and it was a facility and meeting they organized and ran.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Do I follow up on that?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Joe Johnson, 41 Ranch Drive. So I am familiar with the county's portal, and they have, as the township engineer stated, there is a copy of the presentation there, but there was no notification. So if you go to Bucks County Planning Commission, then from there's a link that says Trails Program, and from there it goes to Rail Trail, Newtown Rail Trail Phase 2. And there's about a half a dozen postings, many of which are addressed to the township manager with updates. And it's public information, so it's there. And I agree, I mean, a simple link on our website could take curious residents to that spot. But there was no notification of the pending meeting, only it's dated 3/23/23. So it was put up the day of the meeting. So no notification of the meeting. So, and I understand your explanation that it's a county project. That doesn't mean that this township, as you said, when the final plan comes, that they can say, no, this is not what we envisioned, we're not going to do it. And it could end right there. So it's not a done deal until that happens. And this is my opinion anyway. If I'm wrong, I'll sit down and I want to come up again. But this is going on inside the township. And I think the board as a whole has a responsibility to get this information out to the residents. So if the county did not officially notify the board or the administration that this meeting was going to happen in the township about a township project, well, then I think that's a problem too, and that needs to be addressed. People get their information here. Nobody's watching the county meetings. Nobody's going to the county website looking for information. They come here. So there's people for it who are going to benefit by that, and there's people who feel as though they're going to be negatively impacted by this project, and they're interested in what's going on as well. So it serves everyone, different capacities, and I really hope that this board takes that seriously and reports this information from the dais when they get it, okay? Another suggestion would be, Mr. Chairman, is to refer it to the Planning Commission. I mean, this has them written all over it. That's exactly what their duties are, to monitor things like this going on. So I hope you would consider that as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. One just quick request is, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just reach out to the Planning Commission and let them know. I think there's an information website, email. Tell them that you didn't get notified because you're part of that and there wasn't any way. And I will say that we will just check in with them in how are they notifying, because I do believe that during that process, they they said that their portal would be the way that they would notify people. And if that's not working, it should. I think we're dependent on that, so I don't have any issue with us checking in with them on that issue. Thanks. You have anything else?
I just wanted to, I thought I heard you say, Joe, that you believe, you can sit down, that you believe the township has the ability to turn the project down, and that is not accurate, if I heard you correctly.
I did say that.
Okay. It's a county project. They have a lease with the railroad company. The township, this is not a land development. This is not appropriate for the Township Planning Commission. That is not their role, to monitor projects like this. They don't monitor recreation projects. They don't monitor construction building projects that the township does or the county does. They monitor land development projects, which is what they're obligated to do under the state law and our own township ordinances. So the township does not have the ability to turn this project down. We can certainly influence the design of the project. We can influence, and as I said before, make sure that the railroad crossings in our belief are safe, and we can make sure that our residents are protected with appropriate fencing or screening or whatever else that they're proposing to protect residents who have a concern about that. But we cannot turn the project down, so I want to make sure that is clear to everyone. It's a county project on county property, and they have every right to build it.
Thank you. I don't think we had any other. With no other public comment and no other business, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Good night.